It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. 75% of the Jailbreak crew with you, Daisha, coming in on this broadcast to spice it up a little bit. We have the Blazers and the Flight, both teams coming off of a victory in their former games. Daisha, welcome in.
Hello, Alvin.
So these two teams have a pretty similar anatomy. They have a lot of athletes on both sides of the court. They could play big offense. They could defend. Both coming off a win. Spirits are high as we wait for the jump.
All right. And the Florida Flight grabbed the ball.
Early on, Grant Gully, he's coming off of a huge game, Daisha.
Yeah, he's a great player, you know. And a missed shot by the Flight. The Blazers on the fast break. And one.
And Daniels, huge addition for this Blazers team. Daisha, last year he played phenomenal. He's a through and through. He's just a scorer. He knows how to attack the basket. He can score on all levels. So this is going to be a full load for the Flight as he hits that and one, breaking the net early on in this game.
Definitely, Alvin, definitely.
Love the motion this Flight team's running. A little off balance by Richards.
Blazers in the fast break. Three-pointer. That's off.
And honestly, the thing I really love about this Flight team is the ability to execute in transition, but also understanding when you don't have the numbers, you can definitely slow it down and get a good look, run some motion. That's what we're seeing them do right now.
A shot there by Travell. It's off.
Another fast break opportunity.
And another and one for the Blazers.
And right there, that's really, that play happens just because the stout defense. And we have a timeout by the Flight.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
And Daisha, as we keep it here on the floor, what do you love so far about this game? For me personally, I just love how both teams are able to get into their sets a little bit. Obviously, it's a slight advantage for the Blazers in their ability to attack the basket, draw fouls, and the Flight, we're expecting them to come back. But what do you think the Flight need to do early on in this quarter to turn things around?
I definitely think, you know, the Flight need to limit their turnovers, box out their opponents, and they need to get back out on fast break defense. You know, we saw them make a couple early turnovers right here, you know, and they're giving shots to the Blazers. You know, they got to get back on defense, get some stops.
For sure, and the Blazers obviously did a great job time and time again of just executing in that transition. And it's funny because both of these teams are coming off of a victory against Winter Park. And Winter Park is basically known for their set offense. They do a great job in their set defense. However, that transition is what really separates. However, versus the Flight, that was a tightly knitted game, as you remember, as Hickey gets called for a travel. Look for the Blazers to take this opportunity to stretch this lead even further. Oh,
that's three right there by the Blazers. Way off.
He needs to attend J-Bear Academy, get that shot online. First shot of the day, he's not worried.
Grant with the ball.
That's a good shot right there. Love the ball movement cross court. Get him an open look. Not all of them's gonna fall. Oh, that's a good pass.
Now, as we were talking about right there, you know, the Flight need to work on boxing out their opponents. That was an easy offensive board for the Blazers right there.
Telling me, Daisha, right there, a second chance opportunity gets to another point-blank range. And right now, the Flight's going to have to figure out a way to get on the board. You don't want to be pressing, especially against this Blazers team.
Great ball movement right there. He gets called for the foul.
But what you like about that play, Daisha, is really the ability to get it in the paint. attack the defense, put them in a situation where they're going to have to collapse, because as the game goes on, now the Blazers are going to be focused on that, the seams. They're going to start collapsing. When they collapse, it gives their shooters like Hickey the opportunity to get good looks.
The first free throw is off, Alvin.
And as this game goes on, Udesha, it's going to be imperative to knock down free throw shots right now. Unable to take the lid off the basket. You know, and you just got to love the broadcaster's curse. I don't know if you're privy to this, Udesha, but everything we say on air, the complete opposite happens in real time. So right there you see the broadcaster's curse in live, in full effect. Big time board.
Always, always. The flight getting out in the fast break. That was an easy drive right there by the flight.
Good job by Richards, attacking the seams and executing in transition. That's what he's thrived on, especially with his time in the Tide last season. Now the flight are able to utilize his strengths.
What a great drop-off pass, but he couldn't convert the layup. Jones for the three.
Transition again.
Woo-hoo, great move and a great finish by Richards.
He put some sauce on it, holding his eye like he's LeBron James in the clutch. Love that for Richards in the flight. The Blazers need some time to think it over.
And Alvin, the flight slowly cutting into this lead. You know, I think they can get back in this game pretty quickly.
Oh, for sure. This is early on in this game. The first quarter is a figuring out process. And what we've seen so far, the Blazers have been able to attack early on. That was in transition. However, the flight, it's a great team. They went to the finals last year. They're one of the staples, the center mark, the hallmark of this FBA league. The Blazers, a newer addition. So this is basically the old school versus the new school. Right now, the new school has the upper hand.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is going to be a competitive game, you know, down to the wire.
Are you predicting the overtime, Udesha? That's pretty bold of you, man.
You never know. That's the game of basketball. It's full of surprises.
With the broadcaster's curse, Udesha utilizing his powers to the best of his young capabilities. I love it. And right now, what was the change you've seen early on with this flight team that allowed them to go on a relatively small 5-point, but they did turn the momentum relatively quickly? What did you see from the flight?
Yeah, Alvin, I would definitely say they're getting out in the fast break, converting their fast break opportunities, getting easy layups, and they're playing better defense on the Blazers. I think that's going to be a key for them, playing great defense, getting stops.
Offense wins games, defense wins championships. Well said, Udesha.
And the three, off by the flight.
You love how the flight's getting back in transition.
The mid-range right there is slightly off by the Blazers. The flight getting out in fast break. Is going to be another one of their conversions.
Dangerous pass by Richards. Dickerson, he's coming to his own this season. He's one of the younger guys on this flight team, and to see him attack the way he's attacked has just been phenomenal.
Yeah. Rebounder by the Blazers, getting out right now. You know, they're slowing things down. And that was a great footer, but he just couldn't convert.
They are just dominating the offensive glass right now. It's not even close.
Another rebound by the Blazers. Another offensive rebound. 3
opportunities and no dice. The flight doing a great job of playing some stout defense.
Great pass. Oh, he didn't throw it down. I wanted him to throw it down.
Grant Gullet rides with the best of them. Let his legs get warm. He got pogo sticks now. This is a good matchup here.
That was too easy for him.
Took him all the way to the rack.
And a long pass and a long 3 by Richards. Hits the rim. Rebound by Grant. And 1 for him.
Mr. 30 for 30 himself. Grant Gullet, a premier star in this league. He's been just what you want out of a franchise player. Coach King has found himself a diamond in the rough with Grant Gullet, getting involved early on. He does pretty much everything you could ask for on the court right there, getting involved offensively with the opportunity to get this and one.
Definitely. That was a great putback, you know. Hustled for the offensive rebound, but couldn't convert the three-point play.
I did it. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to say anything, but I did. The broadcast is cursed, full effect. Grant Gullett, I apologize. I didn't mean to do it to you.
And the Flight retained possession of the ball.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a great pass and a great layup. Oh, great block by Richards. He showed no mercy.
Oh, man, rejected like the middle school dance. Richards doing a phenomenal job protecting the rim. Oh, my.
Three. And it hits nothing but the bottom of the net.
Jackson with the three. You got to love that. Size up package. Confidence to just knock it down in the face of the defense.
And a three by the Flight, and it goes in.
Back and forth we go. This is going to be a game.
And a turnover by the Blazers. The Flight in the fast break. Oh, it's a great layup. It's a great finish.
Love that for the Flight, the ability to turn defense into offense so quickly, so effortlessly.
And Richards is really bringing the energy right now for the Flight, you know. He has a couple quick points off of fast breaks. He got that great block. He's really bringing the energy for the Flight right now.
A true spark plug for Coach King. And right there, Christian doing his best Dr. Dre impression. And now looking like Ed Reed. Oh, my goodness.
That was a terrible pass by Dickerson. You know, allowing the Blazers to get back on the offensive side.
And really, one thing that I do like about the Blazers, their ability to attack the seams in the defense. They're doing a good job of forcing turnovers. And right there, Dickerson, the latest and greatest of the prey for the Blazers. This is
and
a good
Daniel's
match.
Posting up. That's too easy for him. he's gonna make that every time.
And it's really he's so skilled, Udesha. His low post game, his mid range, he can score from beyond the arc. He can attack, put it on the ground. So when you have a guy like Aubrey Daniels and you're trying to guard him, it's really tough. You just can't allow him to get comfortable. And as we saw in that last possession, he got comfortable.
Yeah, definitely. And the Flight bringing up the ball in the hands of Dickerson. And a three by Grant Gullett. It's great hustle by Richards.
That's what you want to see. Dives in front of Coach Barry Mastel. Doing a little bit of scouting for the Storm. You just got to love that, the tenacity of this league, the FBA as a whole. That's why these games are so intense through and through. The last Flight game we witnessed was a crazy buzzer beater by Grant as Dickerson gets a huge block.
The Flight in the fast break, and they take it slow. They decide to slow things down.
Wise decision. Oh, he wants this dance.
Another three by Grant Gullett. This time he hits it. Great shot by Grant. Another offensive rebound given up by the Flight. You know, this is something where they really have to capitalize on. Giving up a lot of second chance points.
But their defense more than makes up for it.
And a great drive by Dickerson.
Dickerson showing some of that strength. He's been eating good at the crib and lifting weights. Taking a page out of Grant Gullett's book with the big time finish.
Yeah, he's definitely been getting some lessons, you know, over time.
And right now, as we figure out what the lull in the action is, you just gotta love the quick turnaround by the Flight. Early on, they seem to just get punched in the mouth, so to speak, and then they've done a great job of taking that and twisting it to their advantage. You see them attacking in the transition, getting good shots, executing. However, the one thing that they haven't been able to figure out is the offensive rebounds, as Hickey secures a big time board.
Yeah, for sure. You know, the Flight have really jumped back in the game to seize the lead, you know, in the first quarter. Let's see what it's going to be like for the rest of the game.
And Hickey, that's his shot. He has. He reminds me of Udonis Haslam for the Heat. The ability to knock down that 12-footer. That was a crispy take. Blazers do a great job of penetrating the seams, and they've really dominated in that aspect.
They really have. And that's a great crossover by Dickerson, but he cannot hit the three. But a great offensive rebound by Richards. You know, he's really been the hustle player and really been the star player for the Flight right now. As Grant.
One thing you love about Grant is his ability to play whatever role the Flight needs him to play. And the best comparison I can think of right now, just off the top, especially this is recency bias for me as a Heat fan, but he gives me a Jimmy Butler vibe. Like he's not gonna attack if he doesn't need to attack. He'll get rebounds, he'll do the dirty stuff, he'll sit down in the chair, play great defense. However, when you need him to get that 30, when you need him to go make a big play, he can make that play. Right now you see him getting aggressive, going downhill, and that's really after facilitating early on in this game.
Yeah, and he really is a do-it-all player, and he has that winning mentality just like Butler, you know.
Man, I hope. Big game tonight for all you Heat fans as Grant Gullett sinks his free throw. Love what we've seen early on by the Flight. And you just gotta love the banter from two top-notch competitors in this league. You see a lot of hands in the lane, cookies if you will. A lot of turnovers, pockets being picked.
Yeah, definitely a lot of contact. Dickerson, he faces a double team. Pass it to the corner. And that's another turnover for the Flight.
Oh, watch out.
Uh-oh. That's a great left hand. Dangerous pass by Dickerson, and he turns the ball over.
The thing I love about this game is just the amount of power we see, the foot speed on both sides of the court. You cannot allow yourself to throw a lollipop pass. A pass like that is unacceptable. It will get picked off and will go the other way every single time. We've seen that time and time again throughout this first quarter. Strong passes, precision passes are going to be paramount as this game rages on, because right now it may not seem like a big deal because there's so much time left in this game. However, these mistakes pile up. Every turnover that leads to an easy bucket on the other end just hurts you time and time again. We've seen both of these teams do just that.
Definitely, and Wright hits a pair right there. The Flight bring the ball back up.
Good double by the Blazers.
That was a really smart decision.
And so one thing that for young players, you got to realize when you have a good trap like that, you cannot bail the offensive player out. You want to keep your hands off, keep your hands straight up. You got them where you want to. You have the sideline, you have the other sideline, you have both defenders. You really essentially have four guys playing defense, and you bail them out by fouling.
Definitely. And another offensive rebound for Grant Gullett. You know, he's really crashing the boards right now. That's a great three by Dickerson right there. He had a lot of arc on that shot.
For sure. Dickerson coming into his own in this game, knocking down a big-time three for his team. Oh, that's a
great spin move, and he could not finish.
Smoked turkey bacon, but a big-time finish once again by Wright. Doing a great job of attacking the offensive glass. The biggest adjustment the Flight need to make is doing a better job taking care of the basketball, as we just see here, and getting offensive boards.
And another turnover for Dickinson, and an easy layup for the Blazers right there again.
And when you look at it, you just got to look at the sheer size of the Blazers. Everyone looks like they played Division I football on this team. You guys are just yoked out of their minds, and you know they hit the weights heavy, not as heavy as Jer Bear to my left, but they definitely pound the 45-pound dumbbells, and you see the result. Aggressive on defense, aggressive on offense. The boards are looking good for the Blazers. The Flight have their handfuls of this one.
Definitely.
back and forth we go in this game early on. 1:42 left in the first quarter. It's a 2-point discrepancy in the scoreboard. Daisha, what have you liked so far about the Blazers offense?
And the Blazers are doing really good. There's a couple ISO plays, especially a lot in the post. Great footwork by these guys. A lot of these guys are really skilled in the post, and they've been able to convert inside in the paint. Really easy baskets.
And that's all you want as a coach. You want to draw up great looks for your guys. The job description of a coach is managing egos and getting guys into position to be successful. We've seen both of these coaches do a great job getting guys in good position, and it's looking good on the court.
Definitely. And another drive right there by the Blazers. They're getting really great looks in the paint, but not converting all of them.
Another dangerous pass. You're lucky Grant Gullett looks like Calvin.
Great offensive rebound by Gullett. And another putback for Gullett. He can just do it all the time. The Blazers running out. That's an easy layup for them.
And once again, the Blazers do a great job taking the ball out of the net. So what that means, Udesha, is when they make a bucket, they get it in very quickly. You don't have enough time to look for the refs, look for a call. You have no time to do anything. And another turnover by the Flight.
And it looks like they were going for the alley. No, he drops off a great bounce pass instead.
This Blazers team is one to be reckoned.
Another turnover by the Flight. And another fast break opportunity for the Blazers. And a terrible pass behind the back. Great hustle by Edwards, but he couldn't get the ball.
Dribbled it with his face. A great job of hustling, and really that's what these Blazers have been doing. Literal Blazers. They are flying all around the court. You cannot afford to have these careless passes that we've seen from the Flight. This is a great test for the Flight as the clock winds down.
Yeah, and the Blazers took the lead again. They're up by 4 right now. And it's going to be a close game for sure. A 3 by Grant Gullett.
Big time shot.
That's a great shot by Grant. That was a prayer right there.
30-29.
A 1-point game at the end of the first quarter between the Flight and the Blazers.
At Envy Labs, we build web applications that start with an idea. They move through strategy and need an outside eye ahead of wireframes and technical specifications. There's design and layout and functionality, but there's also performance, things like accessibility and data visualization. It all comes together for what ultimately is a successful launch. Over the past decade, Envy Labs has built platforms that pair things like data and sports or environmental science. We've built technical training platforms around data science and around network administration, and we've bootstrapped and sold our own product. We are a temporary CTO and an outside specialist in strategy, design, and development. It takes a lot to go from idea to launched web application, but it's all right there in our name. Reach out to hello@envylabs.com and let's take a look at your idea together.
The Blazers have been cooking early on. And Udesha, what have you liked so far about the Flight, their ability to transition from that early slump we've seen and to go on that little run we've seen towards the end of that first quarter?
They've been great from the perimeter. They've been hitting 3-point shots, and they haven't been giving up offensive boards as much. They've been on the boards more, getting more rebounds, and they're just doing a great job of hustling, especially on a couple of plays, diving for the balls, getting those rebounds. And that's what you really like to see.
That is not what you like to see if you're a Flight fan. Coast to coast, we go. Raheem Edwards with a sweet lay. And you get a double early on.
And Grant, he has to pass out of that double into the hands of Richards.
And as you see, Coach King with the theatrics.
And another 3 with a high arc by Grant Gullett. But this time doesn't hit the rim.
It's okay, Udesha. There was a draft in the area. Even though we're indoors, the fans aren't really high. That's what happened there. But what the Blazers are doing, which is really going to work against this team, as a nice mid-range jumper is knocked down by Cedric Jackson. What we've seen is that Grant Gullett has been the catalyst for this flight offense. So what they're doing is they're attacking him, getting very aggressive with him, forcing him to get rid of the basketball and forcing the other guys, if you will, to make plays. And now it's going to be imperative that they step up big time. And when they do that, that's when we're going to see Grant Gullett get the singles. We saw Coach Barry Mastel do that in the post last game, and right now they're doing it, but they're doing it extended because the Blazers are filled. They're chock full of athletes. So it's going to be exciting how the flight's going to adjust.
And a missed three there by Cedric Jackson. And a foul on the Blazers.
But as you see them sitting comfortably in their zone, they really spread it out because they have the foot speed to get all over the court, and they've done a great job of attacking early on with that double, and then the guys on the back end of it can attack the seams and get those steals as you see them sit in that comfortable 1-3-1 zone. And you see, look at that speed. Just absolutely insane.
And another offensive rebound by the Flight. And that's what you like to see for the Flight. You know, getting on those boards and hustling.
Right there, getting exactly what they wanted out of the Flight offense. The Blazers doing a good job of keeping 4 sets of eyes on Grant Gullett everywhere he looks.
And an easy shot right there for Cedric Jackson. You know, he's been in the paint all game, getting these easy lays and easy paint shots.
Those aren't easy shots. He's making it look easy. He's slithering it through these seams in that Flight defense, really wearing them out. And right now, the Flight look discombobulated, hitting the bottom of the backboard, looking something similar to playoff P.
And the pass thrown right to the Blazers from the Flight.
Oh, we're smoking all kinds of layups, but finally Christian able to finish. But once again, the story of this game early on has been offensive boards by the Blazers. Offensive boards, another key was turnovers. Right now,
Richard splits the defense, but cannot finish.
Just a heave, ho, able to reset the offense.
Another turnover by the Flight. You know, throw it out of bounds this time.
Ball got some butter on it. Udesha, why'd you put some butter on the basketball? Nobody seems to grab it. It's all over the place. The Flight don't want it, but it looks like the Blazers do. They've been going on a nice run to start the second quarter. And, man, as this game goes on, these turnovers are just going to mount up and continue to compound and compound.
And a three right there by Jackson. And Hickey in the post, you know. He likes those hook shots. He likes a lot of paint touches and just getting in the post and doing, and you know, using his footwork, and he's really great at that.
Hickey getting busy once again. Cleveland in the game. One thing that I love about Terry Cleveland, he comes in, he's that spark plug for this team. He makes plays, and right there, great ball movement. Shane distributing the rock. So crispy, looking like a point guard, if you will.
And a three by Daniels rims out.
This is like what he likes.
And another and one for Grant. He's been converting a lot of them this whole game.
One thing about Grant Gullett is he thrives on broken plays. Very reminiscent of the Russell Westbrook situation. When the play is broken down, when guys are retreating and trying to get in their set defense, that's when Grant Gullett can attack. He can use his speed, he can use his elusiveness, but then more important, he can use that strength, use those shoulders, and create some space to finish in traffic. Smoke another free throw. Grant Gullett's got to convert.
And another offensive rebound by the Blazers, and they get another putback.
Dominating the glass once again. But the Flight doing a good job of attacking. This is a chess match. This is a heavyweight bout.
And another turnover by the Flight. We've been seeing a lot of this the whole game. And a great block by Grant. That was a great rejection. An extremely amazing defensive play.
Wow. Grant Gullett can climb the ladder. For those who didn't know, gets it off the backboard, glass eaten. But once again, offensive rebounds. The Blazers doing a great job cleaning it up.
Yeah, at 6'6", he's able to get up and challenge a bunch of players at the rim.
And you know, Aubrey Daniels can fly. I remember he had a couple of smooth dunks in his former year with the Pride, I believe. And right there, man, I know he heard those footsteps. Flight doing a good job of moving the basketball early in this shot clock. 41 to 36, 6:54 left in the second quarter. Udesha, both of these teams have had their highlights and lowlights as this game raged on. For the Flight, my belief is that the more aggressive they get, the better the game will turn out for them. Aggression looks like offensive rebounds. It looks like boxing out on the defensive end. It looks like closing out harder on the players from the Blazer. What do you see that the Flight need to do to overtake this deficit?
And one of the keys of the game that I mentioned at the beginning as well, they need to limit their turnovers. Even just in this quarter, they've had a lot of turnovers, more than 5 turnovers already, and there's still about 7 minutes left in the quarter. So just stop making turnovers, throw better passes. That's another thing. Throw fast, precise passes right to the player. You know, one of the great things Coach King says, throw to the player, not to the vicinity. So focus on that.
Man, we almost watched the man fly, but a good finish for the Flight. That would have blew the roof off of this place. I love that they're looking for the hoop. And to really double down on your point, the Blazers have done a phenomenal job of capitalizing on each and every one of the bad passes by the Flight. Oh my, that's a good shot.
And a contested shot by Jones, and he makes it.
That's a bucket and a half, gets right to his spot, elevates, flick of the wrist, and it's a swish. Good job by Jones getting to the spot. Good ball movement. Terry Cleveland blowing a kiss to the fans. You just gotta love what he brings to the table. Great ball movement by the Flight. Terry Cleveland knocking it down.
Another 3 by Jones, you know, but he can't hit that one. He can't hit that one.
Great patience.
And great shot by Davis, you know. And going back to your point, you compared a lot of these players on that Flight team to the Heat. You know, I would really compare him to Kyle Lowry. I think he resembles Kyle Lowry in a lot of different ways. Just his play style, his jump shot, a lot of similarities that I see.
Yes, sir. That's a great comparison. Kyle Lowry, the ability to come in the last game and do what he did, even off of a few injuries.
Yeah, he dropped 18 points, 10 assists. Been a great player for the Heat so far in the playoffs through all these injuries.
This Flight team has turned it around 150%. Davis did a good job of being patient on that last one, getting that mid-range bucket to drop. His first bucket of the game.
And another 3 by Cleveland. That time way off.
Once again, great position, getting the double. You just want to keep your hands off. You got them right where you want them. The inability to keep your hands off will hurt you down the stretch of this game. 44 to 41, a 3-point discrepancy in the scoreboard as the clock winds down in the second quarter. Less than 5 minutes left in the first half. We've seen ups and downs from both teams. Gotta love what we've seen from the Blazers.
And a mid-range right there by Christian. You know, he He's hit a couple of those early in the game today as well. And it's another turnover by the Flight. You have got to hate this if you're the Flight right now. Just another easy layup that they've given up in transition.
Hands up on the overhead pass. Great reaction speed by the Blazers. Results in another easy bucket, like you said, Udesha. They are doing a great job of executing in their set defense and turning it into transition buckets. Another careless pass. Oh, we get a shot. No, they left that for Jerry. Jerry Bear with his beard glistening and swaying in the draft that threw so many air balls in this game was able to manhandle the ball and really show off that beautiful arm. He kind of has that Aaron Rodgers-esque flick so effortlessly the way he gets the ball across the court.
And the heave by Richards, that's way off. Hits the side of the backboard.
And Richards, obviously, Daisha, a little thing that we've done in the Jer Bear Academy is we learn how to throw, right? And Jer Bear, Professor Jer Bear, it was our first semester. Jesse would remember this one. He taught us how to throw the basketball. And as we can see, as the Blazers step out of bounds and really can be a catalyst for this Flight offense to get going, Richard skips that class, right? He doesn't hit the rim. He hits the side of the backboard, Udesha. And this is the main message of this is to go to school. Don't skip Jer Bear Academy. All right, you learn great tools, and Grant Gullett gets a great bucket. Broadcaster's curse. I shouldn't have did it, Udesha.
Definitely. And Hickey right there in the mid-range where he thrives, but he can't get that one to go.
Oh, for all the broadcaster fans out there, I apologize for what I just did to the Flight's offense. But Hickey does a great job of taking a play out of the Blazers book, attacking the passing lanes.
And that's a great pass by Richards to Grant. And Richards for the three. Couldn't hit that one.
Man.
The great pass, and Jackson lays it up.
That should count as negative 2 points because I know Jackson could put it between his legs and tear the rim off.
He definitely can. I was waiting to see that. I was a bit disappointed.
And the Blazers have relaxed off that double team that they've thrown on Grant Gullett. This is a time that maybe Grant Gullett will get aggressive. Once again, entry passes are not working. The overhead stuff by the Flight have just been cookies for the Blazers. They are just absolutely dominating the turnover battle.
And earlier on in the game, Grant was getting hot, but he's cooled off a little bit now, and I really want to see him get hot going into the third quarter after halftime.
Smoked layup on one end typically leads to a basket on the other. Let's see if the basketball rules apply.
And
Great
Jones with a
pass.
great drop-off pass, but he just couldn't convert the layup.
Smokey. Great move.
Great drive by Grant, but too much power on the layup right there. And another great pass. The foul is called.
The pace has been increased on both sides of the basketball. However, we've seen some crazy moves, Udesha. Guys attacking with a quickness, head full of steam, playing the game the right way, and then just smoking the finish. A 9-point discrepancy in the scoreboard, 50-49, 2:15 left in the second quarter. The Blazers seemingly have control of this game from start to finish as a big-time bucket gets cashed in for the Blazers.
And let's see if the Flight can catch some momentum right here before the halftime and maybe cut the lead a little bit more and cut it down to single digits as a 12-point lead right now. The Blazers out.
Sizing them up. Nice step back.
And another heave by Richards. You know, he's threw up a couple of those today.
One thing about Richards, he's a streaky player. Aubrey Daniels, coast to coast, getting busy, doing the most. Aubrey Daniels, what did I tell you about that man? He is someone you cannot allow to get comfortable because his offense turns to defense, his defense turns to offense. Guys feed off of it, and Richards doing his best impersonation of the Richards of old, getting to the basket.
And Aubrey Daniels, you know, it's another drive for him right here, but he gets called for the charge right there against Grant.
Big time play by Grant Gullett, doing a good job of moving his feet, beating him to the spot, setting his feet, taking the brunt of that drive.
And you gotta love players like Grant, man. Not only a hustle player, but willing to put his body on the line. You know, right there taking that charge and even diving for some balls. That's what he specializes in.
And the Blazers have done a good job of really expanding this lead. They built this lead, and they continue to lay it down brick by brick right now. 12-point discrepancy in this game as we wipe up some of the sweat off of the floor. You just got to love the way the Blazers have been able to attack the seams. The Flight seemingly at their wits' end when it comes to taking care of basketball.
And they throw a double team at Grant and another long pass for the Flight.
That's what it takes. Great ball movement and a good finish. Good move.
And that was way too easy, you know. Edwins had him on the floor and hit the fadeaway.
And he's coming. He's really heating up right now. 2 shots back to back. He hit a 3, hit a mid-range. What's next for Christian? Looks like a turnover.
Let's see what the Blazers are going for. Alley-oop. Oh, he missed the jam.
Flat tire there, but it's okay.
And another offensive rebound for the Blazers.
Aubrey Daniels slows it down wisely. Flight got to do a better job as this clock winds down.
And that drive was too easy for Daniels. Daniels loves his paint touches. He loves getting in the paint, and he can get his way around contact and make great finishes.
Oh, good move.
Great move by Dickerson, but he can't hit the layup. A steal by Richards.
You got time.
And another 3 by Richards. This time it's cash. 0.9 on the clock left for the Blazers.
As we see a heave by the Blazers, 59-47. We have a back and forth game by both teams.
At NV Labs, we build web applications that start with an idea. They move through strategy and need an outside eye ahead of wireframes and technical specifications. There's design and layout and functionality, but there's also performance, things like accessibility and data visualization. It all comes together for what ultimately is a successful launch. Over the past decade, NV Labs has built platforms that pair things like data and sports or environmental science. We've built technical training platforms around data science and around network administration, and we've bootstrapped and sold our own product. We are a temporary CTO and an outside specialist in strategy, design, and development. It takes a lot to go from idea to launched web application, but it's all right there in our name. Reach out to hello@nvlabs.com and let's take a look at your idea together.
Fries and shakes Oviedo Mall. Best burger you'll ever eat. It's worth the drive.
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
In a world where one girl goes on endless adventures, gives you unbelievable toy unboxings, does insane food challenges, and plays way too much Roblox, it's Elle's Adventures. Subscribe now. Do it. Why not?
Holy cow, it's Nova Rex, the 80s legends.
I want the keto.
I want the double Diablo.
Cheddar bacon.
I'll take a double cheeseburger with extra cheese.
To go!
Here you go, boy. Hey guys, I play a little guitar myself. How about me joining the band? Show us what you got, man. What's up, dudes? What do you think?
Yeah, man, it's pretty good, but you need more hair.
But the Mooyah burgers were great. Mooyah burgers rock!
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
One half of basketball complete, 59-47. The home team is suffering. Welcome, everybody. We are in Longwood, Florida. 75% of the Jer Bear crew. We have an addition in Udesha coming in to fill in some colors. Been phenomenal. This game has been electric. I had the ability to talk with both coaches during the halftime break for the flight to start off with Udesha. Their main concern was turnovers. As we mentioned time and time again throughout this broadcast, turnovers has been huge for them. Their ability to attack the offensive glass and get second chance buckets and really utilize their transition offense has been huge. What do you think the flight should do in order to quell that problem?
Throw better and more accurate passes. That's the number one key to limiting turnovers. That's a lot of where they suffered and gave up points to the Blazers. You know, they threw bad passes, and that resulted in turnovers and easy buckets for the Blazers. So that's the number one thing they want to focus on right now.
And for the Florida Blazers, Coach Tunstall gave me a few things that he was focusing on, and tell me if I'm wrong, Udesha. It seems like it's been working. They focused on their energy. They knew that they were going to be outsized in this game, and their stars has shone brightly. And what we've seen from this Blazer team, coached by Coach T, they've been able to attack the defensive seams, and they've been able to utilize their offensive prowess, their defensive athleticism to make plays in attack and transition. The biggest thing that they wanted to do is maintain that level of energy because they have guys that can explode for 30. A few names that Coach mentioned was Edwins, was Jackson, and was Aubrey Daniels. So 3 guys that can pop at any given moment for the Blazers. Udesha, what did you like so far about the Blazers, how they executed in that offense early on in that first half?
Man, the Blazers have been playing with high intensity, Alvin. You see them, they always get out in transition, and they're running fast, and they're always playing hard on defense as well. So they've just been playing with a super high intensity, and they've been able to get back in the game. You know, they were down at one point to the flight, but they got their lead back, and it's a 12-point game right now in the favor of the Blazers.
And right there on that possession, it looked like nobody wanted the basketball for the flight, and a jump ball situation occurs. Great job by Hickey being tenacious on the glass to get the board. Blazers corralling around him, forcing him into a difficult situation. But nonetheless, the ability to get it in their own half court. We have a jump ball between 2 of the smaller guys in the game. Jer Bear would be proud. Dickerson with the clear victory. Man, is that draft again the same draft that's twirling Jer Bear's beard around, having him looking like Thor or Aquaman, if you will. And you remember that scene where Aquaman, he's under the water, he got the beard swirling around. That's what you see when you see Jer Bear. Aubrey Daniels attacking the basket and getting it in a hurry. 61-47, the Blazers are rolling.
And the 3 by Richards right there, but he can't capitalize on that one. And a great offensive rebound by the flight again. And you see Hickey's right there, that little mid-range fadeaway. He loves that shot, and he always goes to it, and he hits it.
Big time drive once again by Edwin. One of the guys that Coach was warning us about. He said he can pop at any given moment. We've seen him execute beyond the arc, mid-range, right there, the ability to slash and dash. Edwin stepping into his own in this game. The flight need a timeout. Things are not going the way they planned it to go. As this game rages on, the money quarter, the third quarter, really where you solidify yourself in this game. Third quarters can be huge. We've seen from all levels of basketball, Udesha. Third quarters can set you up for greatness in the fourth. It could also lead you down a dark rabbit hole as the game rages on. What have you liked so far about this third quarter for the flight?
I think the Flight have been playing better defense on the Blazers. the Blazers haven't scored as much as I expected them to, and the Flight have been playing definitely with a higher energy and a higher pace, and I think that's definitely something that they've worked on, and it's working out great for them. They just got to work on getting this lead back and getting back in the game. This third quarter is where they really prove themselves.
And for the Blazers, they've done a phenomenal job of maintaining the status quo, which is effort, tenacity on the offensive end, and they've been doing just that. We've seen them do a better job in attacking for the offense. However, the Flight has done a better job of taking care of the basketball, which will take off about 10 points. Because if you remember, as Dickerson gets a huge rejection on Will Gunn, the Flight had struggled early on, Udesha, with the turnovers. The Blazers were able to get up seemingly 15, 20 points in transition, unadulterated buckets for the Blazers. If they can limit the turnovers in the second half, this game could be flipped on its head.
I definitely agree. I think the Flight really should use this chance and use this quarter to get some momentum going into the fourth quarter. That way they can make this a close game and possibly pull out with the victory.
Doing a little too much on that one. The Blazers not able to get that chemistry going. Good idea, but not able to capitalize.
And another mid-range fadeaway by Hickey. He loves that shot.
Aubrey's doing his primetime dance as he skips up the court. Good dish. Attacking the glass once again. Time and time we see them get multiple opportunities as Grant Gullett finally corrals the defensive rebound, ending that possession. But the Blazers are just so aggressive on that offensive glass. Is just formidable. The ability to get second, third, fourth opportunities will just wear on a defense, and we've seen the Flight seemingly crumble under the aggression of this Blazer core.
And a super high pass by Richards, and another turnover for the Flight.
Great pass.
Great pass by Christian. And Daniels, no, that's another layup for him. And like you mentioned, Alvin, Aubrey Daniels is one of the players that Coach T mentioned that can pop at any time and go off.
And right now what we're seeing the Blazers do is build on that lead. That's something that most teams struggle with when you're front running as a huge block once again, and really the Flight unable to get anything going in this third quarter to start it off. A lot to a little.
A great hesitation move by Jackson, but he couldn't finish on the layup.
But going back to that previous point, the Blazers doing a good job of front running. While they're ahead, they're able to completely pile on to the lead. They're doing what needs to be done. They're taking care of the basketball, and they still keep their foot on the gas pedal.
And a great layup right there by Gunn. You know, that's a great reverse.
Once again, defense leading in the offense. The Flight not doing a good job getting back in transition, and it's proving costly for this team.
And a great offensive tip out by the Flight.
But right there, once again, you see Richards as the man farthest back. That cannot happen. Coach King has to call a timeout to get his guys together, because that cannot happen. As the three-point shooter, you're the farthest man back. You are the guard. You cannot allow the defense to get behind you, or the offense to get behind you. And in that situation, Richards, instead of chasing his rebound, getting back, or really doing anything on that matter, he watched the ball, pouted, and watched two Blazers get down, and they're the Showtime Lakers now. So Coach King doing a good job getting his guys together, and going to have to find a way, because this game has been out of proportion. I don't know if you played Madden or if you played 2K, Udesha, but 21 points means you got to pass up the sticks. So it looks like Coach Jerbear will have an opportunity to go out there and coach this team.
Definitely, and it's a 20-point game right now. The Flight are behind, and let's see if the Flight can fix on some of the things that they need to work on, and perhaps cut into the lead by 8 to 10 points, cut the lead to single digits, moving into the late third quarter and the early fourth quarter.
And that's a great point you made. Obviously, it's a joke. Down 20, that it seems like it could be a huge deficit, but 7:38 left in the third. You have a whole nother quarter of basketball. Just as quickly as you got this lead built on you, you can make plays incrementally to break into that lead. But passes like that aren't going to get it done. Passes like that are the reason you are down 20. So you have to do a better job of getting crisp passes. Even if you want to do a cross court, you have to shift the defense, get them off their point, and then create that lane to get that pass through. So Coach King, if I know Coach King, I know he's telling them to move the basketball, settle down, get good looks at the basketball, get both toes pointed towards the rim, and knock down your shots.
Oh, and a missed reverse there by Edwin. Where Richards out in the transition, and that's left hand for him. That's his dominant hand. That's really easy for him. And that was a great cut right there by Wright, and a great layup.
What we're seeing by the Blazers, the ability to take a punch, as in that bucket on one end. You give up a bucket by Richards. You come back within seemingly 5 seconds of their shot clock, they're able to get an easy lay-in, and right now have all the time in the world to line up a shot. Smoked it, but nonetheless had all the time to line up the laces. Right now, this flight team looking all out of whack. And I have to give credit where credit is due. The Blazers have done a great job early on making sure this flight team is uncomfortable, not allowing them to settle down, get to their spots, get the looks that they're accustomed to getting, forcing guys like Grant Gullett to not be as aggressive as he is because he's too busy trying to facilitate for guys, not allowing the passes to be inside out. Typically when we've seen the flight be electric, the ball gets moved around the horn, gets into the paint, and from there, that person has the ability to either turn around and get a bucket, kick it. There's options. The Blazers done a great job of denying that initial pass.
Definitely, and you see, even right now, the Blazers are playing at a really fast pace.
And really, this is their first meeting between these two teams. The Blazers are a newer expansion team in the FBA, and man, have they done a great job. 2-1 so far this year, coming off of a win. The Blazers seemingly rolling as this season will continue to rage on. It's early on, things change at the drop of a hat, but you just gotta love the effort that the Blazers have played with early on in this game.
And a steal by Grant, and he didn't dunk it that time.
Great job blitzing, and right now you see them getting aggressive.
That's great defense by the Flight right there, forcing a turnover by the Blazers.
One thing that you have to realize about this Flight team, they are a veteran group. There's some new faces, but nonetheless, there's a lot of guys who understand the game of basketball. They're calm. They understand how to handle situations, and a guy like Joe is going to be thriving in this atmosphere.
And that was a great floater by Joe.
A young cat out of Longwood, Florida.
And Jackson, an unbelievable and really difficult fadeaway right there.
Back and forth we go. Both of these teams are starting to open up their packages. Well, Blazers have been opened up from tip, but the Flight now seemingly getting their feet wet, trying to get back into this game. Joe has his hands full on this possession.
And Edwin's on that great layup right there. He's getting out in the fast break. Great foot speed, just converting in transition.
Good job. You just gotta love that for the Flight. The getting aggressive, getting vertical, and trying to finish through the contact. And what you gotta love about the young kid, Joe Moran, what he's able to do. I've seen him a little bit while he was in high school. He has a crafty dribble. He can shoot the three. He can get downhill. He's a three-level scorer. However, when you transition to the level above. When you're going against guys who are just a little bit faster, a little bit stronger, well, not just a little bit, a lot of bit stronger and faster, it puts you in difficult situations for the entirety of the time you're on the court. There's not a play you can take off. And last game, we witnessed him come in, struggled a little bit, trying to get his feet wet, wasn't able to get on the scoreboard. And in this game, came in, made his impact felt almost immediately. So love the development, and we're going to be able to continue to track his growth throughout this season.
Definitely, and to add on to what you said, Joe Moran was a star at Circle Christian, but you were talking about difficult positions, and he put the Flight in one of those last game, forcing them to take a shot late in the quarter.
Once again, we see another turnover by the Flight. Whenever they go on a run, the Blazers have done a good job of matching it and then quelling it. So for the Blazers, their big thing as this clock winds down, the clock is in their favor. They're up big. They're up 19. Things are going their way. Their shots are falling. The sun's shining bright. The wind's blowing in their hair. They're feeling great. Everything's rolling. They have to maintain this level of play throughout the entirety of this third quarter and bleeding into the fourth quarter, because this Flight team is a second-half team. We've seen that time and time again. We know what they could do in transition. We know what they could do when they get a spark. So they have to continue doing a good job of making sure they don't get that spark. And, man, Udesha, the Blazers have been rolling on the defensive end.
They definitely have. And the Blazers are looking to expand the lead even more, trying to leave the Flight no chance to get back in the game.
One thing that makes the Blazers difficult to handle, every one of their ball handlers can pop. Every single one of these guys has the ability to score on all three levels. It forces you to be in a difficult situation personnel-wise because they don't have a true big. They play small ball. However, everyone's so aggressive, they're so athletic that they're able to do just that, attack the basket and finish amongst the trees regardless of who you have in the paint.
Terrell Christian right there, he had an easy lay, and he was able to convert it. And a double team against Grant. We've seen a lot of that from the Blazers throughout the whole game, throwing many double teams at Grant.
That's the only way you can beat a double team, Udesha. Great ball movement and patience.
Definitely, the Flight exemplified that right there.
As we have another lull in the action. The thing that I love about this game is back and forth. Even though the scoreboard doesn't show it, this game is a lot closer than it seems. You eliminate the turnovers for the Flight, this game looks completely different. However, you can't just eliminate the turnovers. The Blazers done a phenomenal job early on building this cushion, and they're doing a great job of maintaining it.
And a long pass thrown by Cleveland, but Grant couldn't catch up to it, and another turnover for the Flight.
Unforced turnovers are huge. As soon as we talked about turnovers, we get another. This is just one of the many growing pains you get in a season right now. The Florida Flight unable to get an edge in this game, just not able to get their footing down. Shots weren't falling early on, and then the turnovers just compounded and led to a huge deficit. Davis bringing the ball up. He had his impact felt almost immediately when he checked in early in that second quarter, knocking down a nice jump shot.
And another tough one right there, but he missed on that one.
Great
Another
pass.
Great pass right there. Oh, and he smoked the layup.
Smoked turkey bacon, but didn't give up on the play.
And right there you see Edwards. You know, it's a great floater.
That's tough. Plays like that feels like a gut punch. You do a good job of, or really you get lucky, however, you get the rebound and then you turn it over, leading to an easy basket. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong outside of Grant Gullett knocking down tray balls.
And that's one thing you gotta love about Grant. Not only is he a rim runner, but he can knock down shots from the perimeter and the mid-range.
Lost the handle.
Another great pass. And another offensive rebound. This has been one of the Flight struggles the whole game. giving up a lot of offensive rebounds, not boxing out the opponents on defense.
Grant Gullett directing traffic here, and it's going to take a huge third quarter and fourth quarter from him.
And a reverse layup right there by Edwards. Edwards is starting to get hot. A couple layups, a couple paint touches right here in the third quarter as it comes to an end.
And right now, what we're seeing, the Flight are just being outworked, outmatched, as a big block by the Blazers leads to another.
And great job by the Blazers right there, slowing it down for an easy layup instead.
Just rim running. This game is out of control. The Flight have to find a life supply.
And those are the worst types of shots you want to give up. Just easy shots in the paint.
Unforced turnovers once again. Coach King just shuffling the deck, trying to find someone to ignite this defense, ignite this offense, be a catalyst for an incredible run, because that's what's needed to bring this game to some respectable heights. Great job by Terry.
And great job by Terry, you know, slowing it down, and he pulls up for three. And one of many offensive rebounds here for Grant in this game.
Flight finally able to get the offensive board, but dribbles it off his teammate's face, leaving a wide open three. But the draft monster strikes again. Another air ball in this game.
And another three by Grant. And he gets his own rebound yet again. And a monster jam by Grant Gullett.
Raising the roof. Grant Gullett can slam it with the best of them. Hopefully a play like that will ignite this team as they're down 20. They're down big. They got to find something. Grant Gullett doing his best to give his team a spark. Oh, that's a tough bucket. That is just unfair. Right now, Cedric Jackson is getting bucket after bucket after bucket. A 22-point discrepancy in the scoreboard. Right now, the Blazers are on fire.
In a world where one girl goes on endless adventures, gives you unbelievable toy unboxings, does insane food challenges, and plays way too much Roblox. It's Elle's Adventures. Subscribe now. Do it. Why not?
Holy cow, it's Nova Rex, the 80s legends.
I want the keto.
I want the double Diablo.
Cheddar bacon.
I'll take a double cheeseburger with extra cheese.
To go!
Here you go, boy. Hey guys, I play a little guitar myself. How about me joining the band? Show us what you got, man. So dudes, what do you think?
Yeah, man, it's pretty good, but you need more hair.
But the Mooyah burgers were great. Mooyah burgers rock!
(85-63). The Blazers have been rim running and gunning in this second half. Wondering to see what's in store for the Florida Flight. Is it more of the same, or can they turn the tide around?
You know, the Flight. And Grant, another drive and another and one.
That play was capitalized by Grant, but initiated from ball movement. Good job by the Flight, getting it going to start off this fourth quarter. This game is not over yet. There's swimming in time.
And Grant, he hasn't been able to hit any free throws this game as he misses another one right there.
Good move, good hands.
Good hands by Grant Gullett. And that
a scary play. Grant Gullett just diving on the ground, trying to hustle, and unfortunately gets tangled up with the Blazers. You hate to see an injury on the court, however, very reminiscent of the Marcus Smart, Steph Curry play. When the ball's on the ground, it can get very dangerous because you got guys hustling all over the place.
It really is, and Edwin looks shaken up right now. And like you said about that Marcus Smart, Steph Curry play, these are all basketball plays,
And you just got to commend Edwin for being able to walk up. We wish him the best. We really hope he's healthy, he's safe, he's not sustaining a rough injury that'll last him a long time. But you just got to love the effort by both of these two organizations for the entirety of this game. We've seen some lows in the action on both sides as far as offense goes. But Christian, or Edwin, if you will, has done a phenomenal job the entirety of this game. He's been able to knock down the three ball. He's been able to attack the basket. He's been able to knock down that mid-range, really a three-level scorer. And that's just the offensive side. What he's done on the defensive side, Udesha, is just phenomenal. Nothing short of spectacular. He's been a catalyst for them time and time again, getting a plethora of steals.
And right there, another putback by the Blazers as Grant brings the ball up the court, slowing things down.
And that double team coming back.
And Grant making sure he keeps his pivot foot in place, trying not to travel. And Cleveland is forced out of bounds. Another turnover for the Flight, forced by the Blazers.
And Grant Gullett really handled that double team correctly. You attack the seam of the double team. Don't allow them to get set and really swarm you. However, the other guys, when the player is getting double teamed, you have to make yourself available and be ready to catch the basketball.
And Gunn right there created a lot of separation on that step back and drained the three right there.
An absolutely deadly kill dribble leads to a three ball by Gunn. He's been balling.
And Cleveland with that mid-range right there. Hit a sweet stroke.
Nice job answering. Back and forth we go. The Flight's going to have to go on a run if they even hope to bring this game to within 10.
And Daniels with a bit of shake and bake ends up drawing the foul.
So good job by the Flight, staying in front in that situation. However, you want to keep your hands off. Daniels so elusive in that open court. When he gets downhill, it's nearly impossible to stay in front. You got to foul him. Great pass, great cut, and a great finish. Good job by Edwards. Once again, rim running. We've seen him do it relatively 2 minutes ago in real time, and that's not Edwards, that's Will Gunn. Will Gunn has been attacking the basket the entirety of this second half right there with the opportunity to get an and one opportunity and blow this game open.
And you see Gunn heating up right now in this fourth quarter. And he hits that free throw as well. This time the broadcaster's curse did not occur, thankfully.
So the thing about the broadcaster's curse, let me learn you a little bit, Udesha. If you say it after, you're all in the clear. Now, if you say it before he does it, be ready to get smited by the fans of the guy you just gave the broadcaster's curse.
And that double team thrown by the Blazers against Grant pushes them for another transition opportunity. And Hickey with a crossover right there and out of bounds.
So what we're seeing right now, Hickey doing a good job of taking the ball up the court, and the Flight are trying to turn the corner. However, right now, what the Blazers are able to do in their half-court offense has just been incredible. They've really snuffed out any hope of life that the Flight had.
And Hickey's, that mid-range shot, he's been living with those the whole game.
And it has been off. Right now, the Flight just unable to get it going. One of the lower scoring games for them. Granted, there's a lot of time, but 67 points with 9 left in the fourth is very uncharacteristic for the Flight, but for the Blazers, man. Not enough can be told about the Blazers' tenacity for the entirety of this ball game.
And the Blazers really have done a good job pushing this game to a 27-point game in their favor.
Great patience.
And Daniels right there, another drive. He couldn't convert on that one, though.
Grant Gullett, Mr. 30 for 30 himself.
With the drive right there, and almost another and one right there. He'll be shooting a pair instead.
And right now, he knows it. They need a spark. At this point, when the game is as out of reach as it is right now, you can't get this all in one possession. You got to just build. You got to put the blocks down. You got to lay down the groundwork, lay down that foundation, and start creeping into this lead if you hope to get this to victory.
And one of the things the Flight as a whole team need to improve on is free throw shooting. You know, the few fouls they've drawn and the few free throws they have gotten, they haven't been able to capitalize on those.
And really, everything has been wrong for the Flight. They've had some high moments. They've had some highlights. However, they've been few and far between. The struggles from the free throw line for Grant continue. Very uncharacteristic for Mr. 30 for 30. But you got to commend the Blazers. They've done a great job of forcing turnovers early and putting them in an unfamiliar situation by being down big and being down in energy.
And Daniels, he launches the three right there as it rims off the front iron. And Klinger bringing the ball up in transition, one of his first touches of the game. And Davis, a three right there, and it hits the net. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
Sight for sore eyes for the Flight. Davis knocking in a few jump shots, knocking in a trifecta right there. He's trying to weasel his way into more minutes for the Flight.
And Gunn, that drive right there, but he couldn't drop off that pass. And Grant, great cross jab and one. The continuation foul.
Grant Gullett, once again, lethal. Absolutely dominant in that transition offense when the play's breaking down. I mean, he could get it in the half court. Don't get me wrong. He can get a bucket in the half court, but something about that transition, Grant Gullett turns into Superman. He got the S on his chest. He got the cape flying, and right there he gets another and one opportunity. Mr. 30 for 30 is going to have to put up huge numbers as they just hope to scratch and claw their way to bring it within 20.
And, you know, speaking on those Jimmy Butler comparisons, this is a lot of what Jimmy Butler does, you know. Yeah, he can shoot the three, but in transition and in the paint, he is just that guy.
And Grant Gullett's going to look back on this game, and he knows where he lost it. That mid-range, that little stripe right there, that blue stripe laying on that court, that free throw line, that charity stripe, you got to knock those down if you're a superstar such as Grant Gullett. And one thing that you got to commend the Blazers for is keeping this lead. Time and time again, we see guys go huge in early on against the Flight, and then they lose it. The Flight can crawl their way back into it, but the Blazers seemingly unwilling to let go of their iron grip on this lead.
And a long pass to Davis by Grant, and Grant with a long three, but couldn't cash in on that one.
One and done again. The Flight unable to get offensive boards, and really the difference in this game was offensive rebounding and turnovers.
And Wright, persistent, he keeps on shooting, and finally gets one to drop. You know, we saw a little bit of contact right there with the Flight and the Blazers, Grant and a couple other players, you know, falling into some contact. But that's what the game is about. And Daniels, pass to Wright. Wright for three again, but he can't hit that one.
Right now, just looking like a three-point shootout for the Blazers. No closeouts, no defense, and
Klinger.
No rim.
That was Klinger's first shot of the game, but he's just getting warmed up. And a hard foul by Klinger on Daniels as he reaches from behind.
That's a smart play because you don't want him to get anything easy. However, Daniels is a pretty elite free throw shooter. But it seems like they're going to call it on the ground. So great job by Klinger getting to him before he got into his shot.
And you like to see that great sportsmanship between Klinger and Daniels, you know.
Right now, the refs are going to have a consultation of whether he was in motion for the shot, whether he was on the ground, and that gives us ample opportunity to talk about the landslide in the scoreboard. Right now, we've seen the Flight go on multitude of runs throughout the entirety of my time here with the FBA. A 20-point lead really hasn't phased them in a lot of games. They're one of the more winningest teams in this FBA. Right now, the Blazers are doing everything right. Udesha, what do you see from this Blazers team that has given this Flight organization so much trouble from start to finish?
The Blazers have just gotten out in transition. A lot of the Blazers' points have come from fast breaks and converting off of turnovers. They've really pushed the Flight into a bad place, you know, especially defensively. They've just been a beast as a team. You know, each of their players just hustling and playing their best games on the defensive end. And even on the offensive end, they're able to cash in shots from the perimeter, from the inside, getting a lot of easy shots in the paint, and those are high percentage shots.
As Daniel knocks down his first of many free throws, you have a technical on the floor, and you hit the nail on the head, Udesha. One of the main things the Blazers have focused on early on in this game, as I spoke with Coach Ryan Tunstall, was he wanted to make sure that their energy was high. Coming in and you look at the papers, you look on paper, you know you got 6'6" here, you got 6'6" here, you got 6'3" here, you got 210 here, you got 250 here for the Flight. So very beefy. Guys are athletic. Guys can move. And his main objective was to out-hustle this Flight team. And it's safe to say, as they're approaching a 30 spot in this game, that they've done just that. From start to finish, we've seen the Blazers be the hammer and the Flight be the nail. Not too many times we've been able to walk into this gym and say that. But tonight, it's written all over the game. From start to finish, the Blazers have dominated once again. Another turnover for the Blazers.
And this is one of the prevalent weaknesses in the Flight's game today. It's throwing terrible passes.
And it's just an all-star game for the Blazers. Guys are getting in and out of their packages, just messing around.
And you see right there, an easy drive for Davis, but he couldn't cash in on that layup. But luckily, Hickey's was right there for the follow.
And right now, the good thing about garbage time like this, it gives guys, especially for the Flight, it gives you time to work in guys who haven't played as much, guys who are new to the system. It allows them to get some real spin, get some real equity, if you will, on the court. Getting in there, realizing the speed that these guys play with, realize the physicality of the game, and really try to get comfortable in your own skin out on the court. So Coach King has a lot of options as far as shuffling the deck, going into next week, going into the week after, and the remaining of the season. Who's going to make plays for him? Who are they looking to be a spark? And right now, he's inserting guys as he sees fit to see who is going to be that X factor for him coming down the stretch of this season.
And Daniels continues his excellent shooting performance, and as he hits a pair there.
And Aubrey Daniels has been phenomenal. Witnessed him last year up close, and his game just continues to grow. He can really do it on both sides of the court. He's athletic. He's smart. His IQ's there. And there's nothing scarier than a smart athlete.
Definitely. And as you see right there, Wright gets another easy layup. And he's really been one of the silent guys for the Blazers today. You know, he's been getting a bunch of points just off of easy layups, off of passes in transition.
One thing I liked about this Blazer organization is if they're silent relatively all over the place, they talk with their play as Richards gets around the world and drops home a sweet lay. But the Blazers have done nothing but talk. Like they'll only talk with their play. They don't go back and forth with the refs. All they do is give Cedric Jackson the ball and get out of his way, watch him knock down threes. But all they do is come out and they ball. They got turnovers early. They look inward. They're very intrinsically motivated. They're not going to say too much, but, man, can they light up the scoreboard.
And Christian, I know, a monster jam for Christian as he gets out in transition and just throws it down.
A thunderous rumble eclipses the Lyman Stadium as it seems the Blazers just put the flight to bed.
And great defense. Again, they're not celebrating on that play too much and getting right back on defense, you know. Christian is a great example of a player you want to be. And Richards lost the ball on that play and couldn't convert.
And really, this game, we harp on it time and time again, but the importance of offensive rebounds, the importance of taking care of the basketball, it does so much for an organization. The Blazers able to get multiple opportunities on the offensive glass, getting second chance, getting third chance, fourth chance, and then you couple that with elite shooting by Jackson, and then you add turnovers, you add ball movement, you add defense. That's the perfect recipe for a blowout, and that's what we've witnessed.
And you've seen the energy levels for the guys from the flight drop, you know, especially guys like Grant, who have played almost every single minute of this game.
And really, Grant's a workhorse. He's a superstar for this flight organization. Really, one of the faces of the FBA, if you will. He knows he's going to put up big minutes. He's ready for it.
And another long three by Jackson as he pushes the game to a 40-point lead.
3 for 3, 9-point swing. Jackson is cooking from beyond the arc. If you're the Blazers, give him the ball. I want to see how far his range can take him.
And all smiles right now for the Blazers as they're up 40, and they're just playing around with the ball.
Give it to Jackson. I don't care about nothing else. As we get another bucket, I want Jackson to light it up. I want to see what this range looks like.
Definitely. I think he can pull from half court next.
And Richards right now getting downhill, and this game is seemingly over with. They give it to Jax. Guys still playing with some pride. You got to love that for Richards. And Jackson, you know he's going to pull it. I hope he's going to pull it. He's going this sidestep
with some
dribble.
Shake and bake, and that one was just a little bit off. And Grant, he couldn't throw that one down. But Richards with the follow in the pass.
So right now, we got a 118.
And Jackson taking it home.
We have a 40 spot in Longwood, Florida, as the clock winds down to within
and the
3
terrible
minutes.
pass right there again. And Jackson with a pullback. And just another score for Jackson. He just cannot miss in this fourth quarter. And Richards getting a couple easy drives towards the end of the game.
And at this point, we got to have some fun with it. Jer Bear loving what he's seeing from Raheem Edwards, finishing with the left hand, getting a little busy, getting downhill, using his size. All 5'10", 155 of them, but you wouldn't know it if you just witnessed that drive. He's been electric for this Blazers team. 124 to 82, 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Udesha, what have you liked about this game as a whole?
You know, although I was expecting it to be a close game, it definitely took another turn. But it's really been a joy just to see how the Blazers have been playing. They've been putting on a great show and just showing you how basketball should really be played. And especially towards the beginning of the game, you know, strong on their fundamentals and the basics of basketball. And then you see them towards the end just having fun with it. And it's been really just a pleasure to watch them.
And the Blazers have done a phenomenal job, like you said, just coming out, playing hard, put their foot on the gas, and never look back. Great job putting up 124 points against this flight team, and all the while holding them to 82 points with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. This is something we are not accustomed to seeing. I don't believe we're going to see something like this again, but the Blazers have to feel good about what they've done this Sunday afternoon. Grant Gullett doing what he could, but not enough.
And you see some of the younger and newer guys for the Flight getting reps in right now. And Grant with another dunk. And his vertical is just amazing. You know, as he's able to get up and throw down that standing dunk.
And you got to love this by Richards. Right now, he is being tenacious, moving his feet, zigzag drill. Game's over, but not for Richards. As long as he has that jersey on, as long as there's time left on the clock, he's going to play, and he's going to play to win. Got to love that for the veteran.
You know what they say, play every minute and every second of the game. And Richards really showing us what that's like right now.
And right now, what we're seeing is an absolute landslide. Not what I was expecting to see, not what anyone was expecting to see. The Blazers got up big and kept it that way. Started with their defense early on. We've seen them force turnovers, and it was relatively close in that first quarter because both guys were forcing turnovers. Shots were falling for the Flight. Things were working out nicely, and it seemed like it was going to be a very close game. It was a 1-point discrepancy, if I remember correctly, in that first quarter. But then as the game raged on, the Blazers fixed their ailments on offense. They are getting offensive boards at a very high clip, moving the ball smoothly, crisply, getting good looks. And the Flight weren't able to capitalize on the opportunities they got. Started to slip away from the Flight, if you will, in that second quarter, and Udesha in that third quarter. What the Blazers did to this Flight team was criminal. We should not allow that right now. That should not be aired for how aggressive this Blazer team was against this Flight team. What did you think about the Blazers in that third quarter?
I think the Blazers really took their chance in that third quarter, and they had about a 20-point lead, and they made sure to keep adding and building on that while restricting the Flight score and their offensive power. And, you know, you really see right now the Flight, they're sharing some of the same struggles that they had in the third quarter. You know, a lot of turnovers, not good enough defense, not closing out on the Blazers shooters.
And you know what I love about this Flight team? You know, joke as we may, and you know the Jer Bear crew loves to joke, but you got to give your hats off to this Flight team, because even though this game has been crazy tough to start, they've been outmanned, and it seems like they just got the rug pulled out from under them in that second half. They've been playing. You know, no one on the team gave up. Everyone's playing their heart out. And even though this game is out of hand, they're still out there playing. They're doing what needs to be done, and I think they can build off of it. When you look at a game like this, it's only two things that you need to fix. Granted, it's two huge things, Udesha, but do you believe that the Flight will turn this around? I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but I want an over or under. Do you think the Flight is going to get over 100 points in their next game, or do you believe they're going to be under 100 in their next game?
I definitely think the Flight are going to be over 100 points. They're going to take this loss. They're going to build off of it. You know, they know what they need to work on. As you said, you know, two of the highlights, turnovers and defense, those are definitely two things they need to work on. And I think next game they're going to apply that. They're going to be over 100 points. And I'm even predicting, this might be a stretch, but I'm predicting a W for the Flight.
Oh, we love stretches.
And you know what they say about the broadcasters curse? I think it really did turn out true today.
Well, you did something wrong with the broadcasters curse, and you predicted the outcome. Now, I just said, I want to know if you said over or under. You went and you predicted a W. So now everyone has this tape, everyone watching, as Grant Gullett is going to do a showtime.
And a windmill for Grant. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, you got to love it. You got to end the game on a positive note. Grant Gullett throwing it down. But, man, a huge difference in the scoreboard, Udesha. 127 to 92. The Blazers got up early, got up huge, and never let it go. Right now, as the game comes to a close, Udesha, what did you like from the Blazers to start and follow up? I'll follow up with what I like with the Flight. So with the Blazers, what did you like from start to finish?
Blazers had great defensive intensity. You know, they always closed out. They were all over the place. Their rotations were amazing, and that 1-3 zone really worked out in their favor. And especially in the offensive end, you know, they were just playing with a super high pace. They got out in transition. They forced turnovers by the Flight, and they were getting easy buckets in the paint. And they really, really beat the Flight.
And with the Flight coming into this next game, really what we've seen in this game, like you said, Blazers were able to get on them early, and they got aggressive, and that really put them in a tough situation. So coming into their next games, the biggest thing the Flights have to worry about is really being aggressive on the boards, taking care of the basketball, and running in transition, executing in that transition offense and defense. So for the Jer Bear crew, for Udesha, I am Alvin Delvey. The final score of this game, Blazers 127, the Flight 92. It's been a phenomenal day of basketball in Longwood, Florida. Sayonara.